found. She was dead and then cremated.
Natasia's family tells me they fear that because she was poor, black, and had a record of drug use, no one really seemed to care about her.
How was that not a priority? It's not a priority because you don't care. And that's just what it boils down to. They don't care. Hey BGU family, it's your girl Mika Samaya. Welcome back to another installment of BGU News. As always, make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn those notifications on so that you can stay up to date with the latest videos. Let's go ahead and get into today's story. Today's story is coming out of a city about 25 miles outside of Detroit. 31-year-old Natasha Meadows was working on her life, pursuing a GED and staying with her godparents in Romulus, away from her past, which involved losing custody of her children and bouts with drug use. She planned on enrolling in school and beginning a new full-time job. On October 12, 2019, she left her godmother's home and was never seen again.
It's me, and it was so sudden. I was like, "What? I'm going to see you again." And she left. That was it. So
You never saw her again?
Never saw her again.
Dawn Snyder remembers that last hug and kiss from her goddaughter, Natasha Meadows.
Family members attempted to reach out to Natasha through Facebook and then her phone, which initially rang nonstop, but eventually went straight to her voicemail. Days passed and then worry started to set in. Eventually, her family went to the Romulus Police Department to file a missing persons report, at which time they provided multiple photos, as well as thorough descriptions of all 3 of her tattoos. Natasha was officially listed as a missing person. Romulus police said they called the morgue but received no answers about the missing mother. Her godmother and mother continued to call the county morgue over and over again, stating that Natasha's last name could either be Meadows or Smith. She was also simply known as Tasha. They also provided them with the same descriptions of her tattoos that they gave to police. The family said the morgue kept saying they didn't have the 31-year-old. On October 17, 2019, a body was found inside a home on Apollon Street in Detroit, about 25 miles east of Romulus. ID on the body stated it was Natasha L. Smith. An autopsy was performed and the cause of death was an accidental drug overdose. Her body would sit at the Wayne County morgue for 7 months. According to Wayne County, her body was cremated in May of 2020. The Wayne County Commissioner's Office is now demanding answers. A spokesperson said, "Wayne County makes every reasonable attempt to identify next of kin, but sometimes it has no success in doing so."
Was never in her database. She is identified as Natasha Smith. She has official state ID that says Natasha Smith.
And with all due respect, the family did call and offered a variety of names. Natasha, they offered Smith, they offered Meadows. Why not take the time just to double check?
As far as we know, they never offered the name Natasha Smith.
I don't know if that's what you really want to get into, a discrepancy with a mother whose daughter is dead.
This past summer, Meadows' family received a call from the Inspector General of Michigan. She had filed a prior complaint relating to fraud on her public assistance card, and investigators were looking for her.
Sir, she's missing. I don't know where she is. We've been looking for her. We can't find her.
In a matter of days, family was notified. Natasha was found. She was dead and then cremated.
Local 4 defenders were able to track down Meadows' mother in Kentucky.
All they're saying is it's an accident.
I can't even imagine her being there that long and no one telling you.
I called the same morgue and told them that she also went by Natasha Smith and she had tattoos. I told them all her tattoos. And they said they didn't have her.
After 7 months of looking for Natasha, family members were finally able to bring her home.
We're here at Our Lady of Hope Catholic Cemetery to pick up Tasha.
This is not how family envisioned they would say goodbye to Natasha, picking up her ashes in a box.
It's her.
A cold reminder how this mom was just left in the morgue for months, despite the family's calls.
Okay, let's take her home.
Cremated before family could say goodbye.
Natasia's family tells me they fear that because she was poor, black, and had a record of drug use, no one really seemed to care about her. Meantime, I did talk with a medical examiner, and they did tell me they did have a record of her tattoos. And I said, well, why isn't there a program that you could match the tattoos to a body? Medical examiner said that would be complicated, and that would mean another data entry into the system.
Karen, I'm sure you're getting a lot of reactions from this story.
Yeah, we really are. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are hearing about this. I went to Wayne County commissioners. They are outraged. They want to know how this happened, why it happened, and also the bigger question, Kim, are there other cases out there like this?
While the morgue defends its actions, county leaders are saying that officials need to take a closer look at what happened to Meadows. An audit of the morgue is underway. County commissioners will be meeting in a couple of weeks with the division that oversees the morgue to seek answers in this case.
Hope that we will make immediate changes to make sure that no other family goes through this.
I give my sincerest condolences to the mother and to the family. I'm going to really look into see what happened.
The Wayne County Commission chair says she wants some questions answered.
What I would like to hear from the medical examiner is just what procedures are in place, what policies are in place, and if we need to tighten them up.
Wayne County Commissioner John Kinlock wants to know what went wrong.
They searched diligently trying to find her, and they did have her in close proximity, but yet the individuals did not take that next step of trying to, in earnest, figure out whether or not this is the person that we have in our facilities. And so I absolutely will raise the question.
If that was my daughter, I would be livid.
Commissioner Ray Basham wants to know if there are other cases like Natasia's.
We need to learn and grow from a bad experience that was horrific to a family, but it doesn't bode well for the Wayne County Morgue.
There's also the question of tattoos. The family tells me they described Natasia's tattoos when they called the morgue.
If you look at the autopsy report in this case, there is actually an extensive list of the tattoos that were present on the body.
But the defenders have learned the morgue's database is not set up to match tattoos with the bodies there.
I don't know of any database manager that captures tattoos in a separate database field that is searchable.
Don't you think you could consider that for the future?
That's up to the computer people to do, but it would add another complication, and it would be another data entry.
It would add another complication, and it would be another data entry. So basically you're saying that you don't feel like it's too much work, it's too much extra work to enter in this information to a system. Is basically what you're saying. If this man can convey this type of information on national television with no remorse, can you imagine what's going on in this facility behind closed doors when no one is watching? Furthermore, if you are the top of the morgue chain, you're supposed to be one to set the tone in the facility, and this is how you carry on. Can you imagine how his staff reacts to situations like this? I'm in no shape or form a medical examiner, nor have I ever held any position in a health-related field. However, I do know from basic knowledge that in conducting an autopsy, the very first thing that is done is an external examination, consisting of the weight of the victim, the height of the victim, the identification of any scars, tattoo markings. All of that is supposed to be recorded in a report that should be then transferred to a database system so that you can cross-reference in case of an investigation, in case family is trying to ID a family member. How are you able to retract this information if it's not stored in a database? Where is it stored? Is it being stored in a journal? Is it on sticky notes? Is it in a smartphone? Like where? How do you all keep this information if it's not placed into a database? How is this facility even still open? We are literally in the era of technology, and it's not a priority for you to have a system that would essentially make identifying loved ones easier, not just on you, but also on the family. How is that not a priority? It's not a priority because you don't care. And that's just what it boils down to. They don't care. There's no excuse for this. and trying to put it on the family, and instead of just admitting that you were wrong, to me, it's crazy. And I promise you, I guarantee you, this is not the first time that something like this has happened within this facility. And once that audit is conducted, I can only imagine how many cases like this are going to pop up. So I will say, on the outside looking in, I am impressed by the way that the Wayne County Commissioner's Office is responding to this incident. I love the fact that they're leaving it, open for other individuals who may have had issues with this facility in the past to come forward and tell their stories as well. And I look forward to seeing the outcome of everything once everything's said and done. I pray for peace for her family, her friends, and I hope that even with the circumstances, I pray that they can find some level of comfort in at least being able to bring her home. The 5 to 10 minutes that it would have taken them to transfer that information from the autopsy report to a correlating database would have saved this family 7 months of wondering, questioning where their loved one is. I pray that once this audit is done by the Wayne County Commissioner's Office, that the family receives their due justice. Thank you for joining me for another installment of BGU News. As always, if you have any stories that you would love to see featured on BGU News, please do not hesitate to send an email to BlackGirlUnLOST@gmail.com. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and turn those notifications on so that you never miss a new video. Until next time, peace.